So a couple weeks ago, I bought a 3D printer, the Bambu Lab X1C. And so I have been busy designing, printing, and just making modifications for everyday use for drones, as well as specifically for uh, certain models and certain frames that I have, just to improve functionality and make it easier for me to mount the accessories that I want to have on the drones. So let's just go ahead and dive in. So the first one I want to show is my GPS and antenna mount, specifically for the Lumineer QAV Pro Cinewoop, the 5-inch frame. So I already have one mounted right here. But well, one of the drawbacks with this frame was that, or it has a lot of different options for mounting. You can see them all on top, as well as different holes, and it has already some threaded inserts. But the issue I was facing was how to specifically mount my GPS module as well as the antenna, since I'm using the Gemini antennas for my Radio Master radios. So since the frame itself did not come with a stock option for how to mount the GPS, I mean, I tried different options. I mounted the GPS here, I just zip tied it down. I cut one of the cases from my other drones and mounted it here, but then I ran into the problem that if I was taking off this top insert, I would have to cut zip ties, remove wiring each and every time, and I didn't like that. So what I did is I made specifically a mount that holds not only the GPS unit, but also allows for you to zip tie any of your antennas to the back of this. So it's printed out of TPU 95. It mounts directly to the video antennas. You can see right there. And it makes it a lot more accessible for when you need to modify, as well as if I need to remove the GPS if there's any issues, I can quickly and easily do that. I like this modification, but I quickly realized after I designed this one and printed it out after a couple different tries that with most 3D printing that I'm seeing out there for FPV, it's very specific to the frame, and rightfully so. You have this frame, and I want to use specifically mounts for that, which makes it really hard for someone to design something for more of a universal aspect. So when I'm bringing my other frames in, such as a 3.5 or another 5-inch, how do I design something that will work for one and work for the others, which wouldn't. The Speedy B Master V2 frame already has a GPS mount 3D printed, so I don't need to worry about that one. But if I wanted to do others, this one also has a 3D printed mount that comes with it, but it's only for specific size GPS units. So if I wanted something bigger, I would have to design and print. The issue isn't so much the design part and printing part, it's how do you modify it so it mounts to the frame that you have in front of you. So like I said, this one had to be designed specifically to mount to the VTX antennas right here in the back. So it allows it to grab on without any issue. It's out of the way. It's out of the way of the power cord. Or I'm sorry, it's out of the way of the power plug. And it still allows me to connect the wiring and just stays out of the way from all the other parts and accessories that I have mounted. So the next 3D print part I want to show you is, again, was designed with this frame in mind, but it was to fit another need. And here, let me move the battery out of the way so you can see better. So if you can see right here, there is another GoPro mount right here in the back of the frame, which kind of just struck me as, how do I utilize this? Now, I mean, I can mount the GoPro facing forward, which in my opinion really wouldn't do anything good. Because the view is going to be obstructed by the battery, and if you had any other mounts in the front, you're going to see that too. You're looking at an eye level of the drone flying, and which I don't really see the need for that kind of a view. Same thing if you were to reverse it facing backwards. The antennas can move out of the way, and you can get a rear look. You also run into the issue with the power cord being able to mount on this frame, and it mounts right here. And if any way you look at it, you're going to be potentially blocking the camera view on this drone. What I decided to do was just print a simple 3D printed mount. So what this mount does is I can mount my GoPro 11 Mini and put it onto the drone. So as you can see here, allows me to mount, and I'll show a camera angle of what it looks like in flight. but I can mount the GoPro and it gives it more of a top-down look, which I kind of like. It gives it a unique perspective. I also see this being able to be used with a 360 camera, being able to extend it up. Some of them will be high enough right off the back, but it also gives this higher elevation that if you want to have this back view or move it in a way to just give a different type of perspective, you can do that with this GoPro mount. So first couple designs, I printed in PLA, just using the stock color. Tried it out a couple. One of my videos, and I'll link it, you actually see that one of my first designs break after a crash. So after I used PLA for a couple tests, I decided to go with the PETG, which is designed more for, gives it a more sturdy and outdoor, specifically for outdoor use too. So printed out, really solid, but like with anything with the drone, you crash, most likely these parts are going to either take some significant damage or break, which again, I don't know of many parts on an FPV drone that can withstand some crashes without some kind of damage. So good thing is that it's fairly simple to replace. If it breaks off, you can easily get another one and use that. So this 3D print was designed with this frame in mind. Easy to mount, easy to maintain, and it has the universal. It doesn't matter if it's a GoPro or not, as long as it has this mount, it can connect to it, and it's fairly light. Okay, so the next print I want to showcase is this one right here. So the reason I designed this one is to help with prop storage. Now, everyone knows you got a ton of props, especially with me. I got tons of 5-inch, but I wanted something that I can just kind of stack and organize as I need. So the cool thing about this one is that it's, again, 3D printed. It has magnets on the top and the bottom, so you can stack as many as you would like. I've gotten up to 5 without any issue, so that's 20, and they just snap on. Organize them on your desk. It's not really designed for travel, as the magnets aren't strong enough where you could throw it in a bag, and if it's thrown around, it's not going to come undone. They will come out. You can organize them, keep them on your desk and out of the way. So again, another just design that for practical use, for everyday use. So the last design is for more of a just everyday use, for an AirTag holder. So you got this nice little drone design on it. Throw your AirTag in. Has a screw, and you can just, it's using an M2 screw. So you can screw it on, and then you can toss it in your bag. It's a simple AirTag holder for your gear with the little design on the top. So those are my 4 designs that I've so far built for specific to my everyday use and specific for the drones that I have. If you like them, you want to support the channel, put the link in the description. You can order them and ship them over to you. Use them as you see fit. If you have any ideas or other things that you'd like to see built, just leave that in the comments below, and I'll catch you out there flying.